Our goals for this update were to improve the user experience starting at the login screen. To synchronize merit badge requirements in Tentaroo with published requirements from the BSA and Scoutbook, to keep requirements up to date for you in all Tentaroo Council systems while still allowing custom class types, to make it easy for councils to specify requirements taught for each badge, and to provide an export file that units can use to import completion data directly into Scoutbook. Today, I will explain what changes were made to the merit badge tracking in Tentaroo. I'll walk you through the process of selecting requirements taught for each badge, and I'll show you how to download Scoutbook reports from either the admin interface or the user interface, and I'll walk you through the steps for importing that into Scoutbook. I'll also highlight the resources Enrique mentioned, which are available on both the admin manual and the user manual to support you and your users with the new features, and then we'll answer questions at the end. The core change we have made in this update is to introduce a master list of merit badges, each with a complete list of requirements tracked by the version year, as well as a high-resolution image of the badge. The requirements are in the same format as the official published lists, so our reports will import seamlessly into the Scoutbook tracking system. Going forward, we at Tentaroo will maintain this master list of requirements so you don't have to. This includes adding new badges, updating requirements, renaming, and retiring. The list we launched this morning or last night is current with 2023 data. When new badges get introduced, you will need to add a new class type and select the new merit badge from our list. Then you can add a description, select the requirements being taught, and go build a class with it. When requirements are updated, we will not only update the system requirements lists, but we are also including the publication years and will display those on the merit badge card in the class type and on the reports for Scoutbook. As always, past events will use the version current at that time, while new events will automatically update with new versions of merit badges per the master list. Once you've entered completion data, the version year and requirements are set for that session. Now, as merit badges are retired, they will be removed from the active master list, and you will want to delete the class types. Past records will all still be maintained, but deleting the class type ensures that no one accidentally uses a retired merit badge for a future class. I've been talking a lot about how the new merit badge master list works, but I want to take a moment to assure you that you can still use our class types for non-merit badge stuff. Your existing class types are all still there, and you can build new ones that are not connected with merit badges. So how this master list applies to current class schedules is that we have updated all merit badge class types with the new merit badges from our master list. The new high-resolution images I mentioned will now be the main images for the merit badges, and the old logos stored as class type images have been cleared. Now, you can still add your own, like I said, but you don't have to. The old comma-separated requirements lists have also been cleared, and those lists have been replaced by the new master requirements checklists. We have downloaded everyone's old requirements lists for you, and we'll be emailing out comparison documents to each council after the webinar with guidance on how to work with that to translate the old requirements lists to the new requirements checklists if you had custom requirements entered in the past. If you've already built your class schedule for summer camp this year, even if you already have scouts registered for classes, this switch should be almost entirely seamless. That said, we do have some homework for you between now and the start of your next merit badge event. You'll want to review any existing class schedules to confirm that the Merit Badge Association is correct. That report I mentioned will help with that. And if for some reason the incorrect merit badge is assigned, you can manually switch that at the class type. There are several reasons that association might have something other than what it's supposed to. So feel free to send us an email or schedule a brief training if you're seeing a lot of these, and we can help you set them straight and answer your questions about that. The next bit of homework is to select the specific requirements taught at your event, which is more important than ever. In the past, you could add or remove requirements on the comma-separated list to customize them for your event. Now, we are including not only the complete list of requirements for each badge, but we are matching the format from the official records, which have some very long requirement numbers. Take, for example, archery, which has a very long list of requirements with several child levels, which are stacked to make a very long number. As everyone gets started with the new feature, our system will have all the requirements selected by default for each badge. You can work with your instructors to choose which requirements will be taught at your event and uncheck the ones you are not teaching in the class type settings before the event begins. This provides several benefits, such as keeping instructor class rosters short and making it easier to enter requirements completed after the class. Instructor class rosters now will only show the requirements being taught, so they won't be miles long. This version that we're showing you is Archery Merit Badge, and it is a couple of pages wide to accommodate all of the options and sub-requirements, many of which your instructors would have to skip as they are marking off progress. Now, looking at another version, this version has just one bow option selected and fewer child options based on completion requirements. And you can see that it is much narrower and allows your counselors to focus on just what they are teaching. Once your event is complete, the next step is to enter requirements completed for your scouts. Let's get logged into our system now to show this step. I want to pause here at the login screen for a moment to highlight another change in this update. We have added a second box to this screen with a little more system-specific branding by displaying the system's name in the title, most often the council, so they have a visual reminder of where they are, whose system they're in. Also in that box are statements about how accounts work in Tentaroo, with links to the complete listing of Tentaroo councils and a link to contact the council for support. So let's go ahead and get logged in. And now we're going to navigate to the Enter Requirements Completed tool. This has received a few upgrades to work with the new merit badge requirements lists. The mass update box in this tool shows buttons for just those requirements checked off as being taught at camp, which makes it easy to quickly mark them as complete for your participants. This is very similar to how it worked with the old manual list. However, now you can still choose from the complete list by clicking the Manage button on a participant's card and changing the filter from Show Requirements Taught at Camp to Show All Requirements. Now you see the full list of requirements and can check more as earned by this participant. This also means that you can customize your requirements taught ahead of each event with the same class type and still be able to choose other requirements for participants when it comes down to entering completion data. Any additional requirements selected will appear in the reports in the correct order of the requirements. Previously, any add-in requirements were tacked on at the end. A special note here for the new Scoutbook export. Currently, we're only exporting individual requirements to Scoutbook, so the specific requirements do need to be marked as done. If you try to mark a merit badge as completed without selecting any requirements, when you save, the system will now give an error message reminding you that you need to indicate the requirements done by the participants. Marking complete does have its benefits, such as filling in the signature and date fields on the blue cards, but those individual requirements are where it's at for giving full credit in Scoutbook. Now let's go take a look at how to use the new Scoutbook export. One of the most exciting innovations in this update enhances the user experience tremendously, and that is the new requirements for Scoutbook export. We have updated all of our reports to be compatible with both the old tracking and the new tracking features. And as a reminder, Cub Scouts are not included in these merit badge reports since they are not eligible to earn merit badges. The new Scoutbook export can be found in the unit's registration and on the reports in the event dashboard for admins. In the user interface, navigate to the event registration and click the reports button. The requirements for Scoutbook export is near the bottom, just above blue cards. Enrique, go ahead and download the report. We'll use this in a later step. Only classes that are associated with merit badges from our master list are included in this report. Non-merit badge class types won't be included in the data at all, so make sure your merit badge class types are set up correctly. And near the end of the webinar, I'm going to share with you the support documentation in the Tentaroo user manual that you can share with your units. This includes every step from downloading the reports to importing data into Scoutbook. Now we're going to go through the Scoutbook import process, which requires two steps. The first of which only needs to be done once per computer, after which you can import data into Scoutbook as needed. In order to use this new report, the user will first need to install a plugin in either Chrome or Firefox called the Feature Assistant extension for Scoutbook. This plugin was originally designed for use with the registration software used by the developer's home council, so the verbiage currently still refers to Black Pug in several places. We're working with him to get those updated soon and also to include our instructions in his guides. Once you've installed the plugin, log into Scoutbook and navigate to the Troops unit page. Scroll down here to the action items and click on Import Black Pug Data. For unit leaders importing data in their own accounts, this process requires permission to use the Merit Badge Quick Entry feature in Scoutbook. In this box, we'll click on Choose File and select the CSV file you downloaded from Tentaroo. Turn on Merit Badge Requirements, and you may want to turn on Leader Approve if you want to mark all imported badges as approved right away, but you might also want to leave it off if you want to allow the unit to review data from camp prior to marking as approved. You'll want to update the import note field to say Tentaroo, and then change the date if needed. This note will be added to the requirements notes in Scoutbook for the unit. Then click Import File, and this will may take a few minutes to import the data. You'll get to see a little black loader box that describes which step of the process is being completed as the data is imported. If Scout's names in Tentaroo are different than the names in Scoutbook, the plugin will match what it can and offer another step to manually connect names for those that cannot match automatically, so the names don't have to be exact in Tentaroo. We have added resources on our manuals to help everyone learn the new features. On the admin manual, this is focused on 4 main pages. Requirements Tracking Plus, where we explain the new features and detail the Scoutbook import process for admins. We will post the video from this webinar to that page in the next few days as well. Then we have class types, which walks you through associating merit badges with class types and pre-selecting requirements taught at camp. Then we have entering requirements completed for guidance on entering completion data and selecting additional requirements from the master checklist. And last, we have Summer Camp video series, where we have links to the other pages I mentioned. We will shortly add a brief video focusing on using the Scoutbook import to this page as well. On the user manual, we have added a new page for Scoutbook export instructions, which we encourage you to use with your summer camp leaders guide, to share with your post-camp information, and then to include with your web resources. Links to that page have been added to both the home page and the registering for events page to help users find those instructions. This is the last piece of homework on our list today is to share the user guide page with your units. Right. There we go. Today, I shared with you the changes that we made to merit badge tracking in Tentaroo, how to select requirements taught for each badge and how very important that is, how to download the new reports and import them into Scoutbook, and the resources on our admin and user manuals. I've also given you several homework assignments to incorporate these new features into your day-to-day practices.